Today I'm going to be showing you how to build a team of stimulant abusing Terminators for your lead generation agency so you can just sip mojitos in Aruba while you're filling your Prada wallet with dead presidents. So you're able to scale your lead generation agency and not make the extremely crucial hiring mistakes that I see happening daily. During the past 12 months, I have realized that hiring fucking brazy tequila sipping A1 great team is the best thing you can do for your business. Using the same framework that I'm going to be showing you today, I was able to build a $40,000 a month lead gen agency, work 15 hours a week and maintain extremely good margins while doing so. I've also managed to build a 7-figure consultation business, and also I've helped multiple of my 6-figure clients and 7-figure clients to hire killers to their team using these exact steps. So it has been honed in through trial and error. We have made a lot of the mistakes that I'm going to be sharing in this, and we have learned to do it the proper way. Basically went from waking up, sitting behind my laptop, standing up, going to bed, and being generally just chained to the business, to now being able to go ride jet skis in the morning, take the day off if I want to, and still having the peace of mind that I won't have to work 2 times as much the next day. If you're running a lead generation agency right now and you're in the trenches working unhealthy amounts, scraping leads, launching campaigns, and just setting up domains, boss, you need to start hiring. That's not a long-term play. And I completely understand that it isn't really a sexy topic, but the truth is that by being good at hiring, you literally just 10x your opportunity to scale. Because otherwise you're going to have crazy bottlenecks if you are not actually able to hire. You'll also be able to just focus your energy on higher leverage things and take yourself out of the time-consuming day-to-day operations. You can focus on the money-making tasks. Unfortunately, even though a lot of lead gen agency owners know this, they still completely miss this. They are afraid of giving up margin in their business, and they just stay stuck in the grassroots level activities in their agency, and as a result, they just end up burning out and never scaling. Few of them try to hire a little bit, but they just end up fucking up their whole agency by hiring $3 per hour VAs that generally just take more time to manage and train than it's actually saving them. So that's again like a bit backwards. They basically go, they hire someone, they don't train them well enough, they have shit SOPs. After a month or 2, they end up firing them and basically saying to themselves, fuck, nobody can do this stuff as well as I can, so I need to do it myself. When in fact, the tasks that you tried to hire for were actually fucking simple, and it would have been extremely easy to show someone how to do it, but you just suck at it. And it's not your fault, because this doesn't really get talked a lot about in the internet. Everyone is just focusing on getting clients and delivering niches and offers, but no one actually is teaching you how to hire and train and scale. So that's why I'm making this video, so you don't make those dumbass mistakes. Before you start to hire for a lead generation agency, we need to identify the main bottlenecks to hire for. Because in the beginning stage of building your agency, it will always be tasks that are time consuming but simple. There won't be any crazy, extremely complicated tasks that you need to hire for. It's just the matter of a fact that you have tasks that take a lot of time that can't be automated by a machine, so someone needs to do them, but it doesn't make sense for you to do them because otherwise you can't do anything else more high leverage. So usually you end up just hiring, and you just need to hire for extremely simple tasks that just are time consuming. So for example, if you're making $10,000 a month and you're working with 4 clients, you might be spending around 4 hours a day on managing inboxes alone, depending on your volume and response rates, etc. So if you hire an inbox manager and you pay them around 1.5k a month and you free up those 4 hours a day, you will be able to focus those 4 hours into way more higher leverage things like writing a new VSLs, doing content, launching new campaigns, troubleshooting client campaigns, taking more sales calls, or just fucking 1,000 other things. There are so many more higher leverage things than just inbox management. So in the beginning stages of building your business, you're just wearing multiple hats as the CEO. And in most cases, you're fucking clueless about what you're spending your time on. And that is normal. You're doing a little bit of content, accounting, finance, fulfillment, lead scraping, sales, marketing. You're doing like everything. But in order for you to hire the right players in the right orders, we need to figure out what you are doing. And I'm going to be going over 5 different activities in total to show you how to actually hire these killer players. And the first step, of course, it's going to be a time audit or a founder audit, whatever you want to call it. So basically what you do for 1 week, track every task that you are doing and how much time you're spending on it. I know there's a bunch of cool tools and a bunch of cool Chrome extensions, but please do not overcomplicate it. When I do it, I just use Google Sheets and a stopwatch. You track everything that you do for a week and how much time you're spending on it, and then at the end of the week, look at everything you spend your time on and categorize each task into high ROI and low/no ROI tasks. For example, we might say that you're spending over 20 hours a week on inbox management, which is a low ROI task. And this gives us an indication, oh shit, it probably would make sense for us to hire for this role. So then what you do is you just answer these following questions yourself. Okay, is it a task that only you can do? Yes or no? What are the requirements to do this role? Could I find a person who fits those criteria and that requirements? Can I pay them enough to stay motivated? And can I make more money than I'm paying for someone to do this? So for example, if you're paying someone 1.5k to free up 200 hours a month for you from inbox management, can you spend that time into making more money so you make that 1.5k back? If you're not a complete fucking idiot, you can. Then, after going through those questions, if you see that it's a task that can be delegated to someone, you believe that you can find a fit candidate for it and pay them well and make more money with the extra time that you are paying to delegate it, then you need to delegate it. You need to outsource it. You need to hire someone to do it. So, then when you have done the time audit and you have found the task or the tasks that you need to hire for, you know what kind of a person you need to find for it, what you could pay for them, etc, etc, etc. The step 2 is going to be defining the process and creating SOPs. If you already have an existing team, you might have a few people, some VAs, whatever it might be, partner, co-founder in the business. You might not even need to hire anyone new. You could just delegate the task to someone who's already on your team. To successfully delegate the task to someone else, we need an extremely clear process to complete it. A big mistake that I see a lot of people make is they create an SOP. SOP basically is a standard operating procedure based on how they think that should be completed and not how they actually do it. So I see someone is like, okay, I'm going to make an SOP. They create this extremely specific step-by-step SOP, but then it's completely different how they do it themselves, which is fucking crazy. So this is why you should complete the task yourself and then just document every step of the process. So do the task, write down the steps in Google Doc, go super in depth. Not a single detail should be missed or a single option or a single variable happening. Record a loom of you completing it and talking through your ideas. So as you're completing the task, talk through what you're doing. Okay, now I'm going to do this because if this would happen, I would do X, Y, and Z. So record an extremely slow, step-by-step clear process of you completing the task and then package it into a simple SOP. And here's an example of what it could look like. This is from our inbox management SOP. And we have like a really in-depth structure for every single possible variable and thing that could happen when you are managing the inbox. We have reply templates for every single section. We have resources, we have information. Basically, when our inbox managers go through this, there's not a chance that they won't know what's happening because everything is covered here. Just make sure that everything is covered in the process that could possibly happen. Now that you have your SOP, go through the process multiple times using the outlined process. So use the SOP yourself and see if there are any steps of the process missing or if you need to add anything to the SOP. You know that you have a shit SOP if your employees or team members need to be hitting you up every single day. Yo, how to do this and what should I do when this happens? That means that you just fucking need to update your SOPs. And also, it's important to remember that you should go back to the SOP every single month and ask your team member if there's anything in the process that should be changed based on their feedback. So maybe they found a better way to complete the process or they started doing something differently. Ask them about it and then edit the SOP to match it, because you always want it to be up to date. Because if for some reason maybe you need to replace the person, you still have an up-to-date SOP. So now we have identified the task that we need to hire for, we have identified the person who we are looking for, and we have also created the process walkthrough and SOP. So the third thing that we need to do, we need to start getting applications using a hiring funnel. And this is basically what a hiring funnel looks like. First we have some traffic, then we have a funnel here, and then we have some interviews and we end up hiring someone. And I'm going to walk you through each one of these steps in detail. This is an extremely important part because hiring an idiot will waste your time and brain cells more than it will actually save your time, because then you need to just fucking deal with them. And this is why you don't want to cheap out when you are hiring. If you don't have money to hire someone good and motivated, go back to the trenches and make more money. A good reminder is if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, and you don't really want monkeys in your team. So the main thing to understand is that we need to treat our hiring funnel as any regular funnel. Basically, first we have traffic, then we have a sales page, then we have a conversion page, then we have a call, and then we have a hire. So for example, this could be we have traffic, we have an opt-in page, we have a VSL, then we have a call, and then we have a close. It's exactly like a VSL funnel, for example, for your own agency. So the first thing in the funnel is traffic. There are a few hiring channels that I've seen the best results with: Fiverr, Upwork, Twitter, Network, and Facebook groups. It's extremely hard to say which one is the best. I just recommend you using all of them, because your main goal is to get as many applications as possible, so you have a lot of options to choose from. So to get a lot of applications, we first need a lot of traffic, and then we need to have a good offer that we are offering to the traffic. And basically in this case, traffic is the people seeing your job post on different platforms. So obviously if you have your job post in 5 different platforms, you're going to get more traffic than if you just had it on one. And then your offer, basically in this case, is the position you're hiring for, the compensation plan, everything that someone is getting for doing that job. So to get a lot of traffic, we need to just blast our job post to every possible channel where our ideal client might be hanging out. If you don't get enough applicants on the first try, just blast again, bro. It doesn't make sense for you to take someone who's mediocre when you can just do another round of just blasting the job application to everywhere and then maybe getting the killer applicant and killer candidate that you're looking for. And as you post your job post to these platforms, the description doesn't have to be anything crazy, because the sales page that we're going to be creating for it is going to be the main lever mover. It's going to be doing all the heavy lifting. So for example, your job post, for example, if you were posting it to a Facebook group or a Twitter or Fiverr or whatever, you could just say, hiring an inbox manager. We are hiring for an inbox management position at our lead generation agency. Criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria T, high compensation and opportunity to grow and advance in our company. If you want more information, click the link below. And that's really it. Like, that's how we do it. So now we have traffic. The next step is to have something to drive the traffic to. And again, this doesn't have to be anything fancy. Here's an example of a document that I made when hiring for an inbound setter, basically an inbox manager for Twitter, and this is the document that I made. As you can see, it maps out exactly like a sales letter. It has a headline, then it has identification, disqualification, it tells what is in for you, it has the offer, it has the benefit, it has the features, and then at the end it has a call to action. So basically what I did just here, I just made a headline, become a fucking moneypreneur as a dangerous inbound setter for Agent Velocity IO. Who is this for? Who is this not for? What's in it for you? Basically the benefits that someone is getting. Keep in mind, this is not the features, so things like compensation and work hours, those are features, these are the benefits. Then it has more on the features side, so more of an accurate description, what someone needs to do in this role. Requirements, so basically what kind of criteria does someone need to match to apply for the job. It has compensation, so how much they're getting paid to do it. And then if someone is still interested, then we have a call to action here. So just basically telling, fill out the form below, send a quick introduction of yourself, wait for me and my team to get back to you. If you're qualified, I'll inform you via email and schedule an interview with you, and training starts as soon as possible. So basically we are just setting the expectations immediately and just making a call to action to fill out the application form. So this way you can just drive traffic to the doc and people will immediately know if they are fit for the role. So there's like no guessing. They open the doc, they see immediately, okay, what is this and how it's gonna work? Am I interested on it? Do I match the criteria? Yes or no? Boom. And remember, the harder you go on qualification and requirements, the fewer applicants you'll get, but the higher quality they'll be. And this is, in my opinion, ideal. Because basically, the more requirements you add and more qualifying questions you add, etc., the more fiction there is, and also less people are going to fit that criteria. So you're going to get less applicants, but then the applicants that you're going to get are going to be higher quality. A few things to take into consideration when creating the job description. First thing, the higher your requirements are, of course, the more you need to pay. If you're trying to fucking find an A1 killer rock star who has already crazy experience or is extremely motivated, they of course have big goals and they have a bunch of other things that they could do, so pay them well. Second thing, a lot of people are not motivated by only money. They care about things like culture, opportunities to grow with the company, skills they learn, working hours, etc., etc., etc. So for example, a big selling point in our roles is that people get to see like how really the company works. They get access to crazy valuable training that we have used for our clients and for ourselves. They have the possibility to advance and grow in the company. We have a really good culture. We have extremely motivated people who are winning. There's a lot of other benefits than just the money. So don't even waste your time trying to get an A1 stimulant abusing Terminator for pennies on the dollar. It will not happen because those people have big goals and a lot of opportunities that they could be doing. So why would they work with you if you have nothing to offer, if you pay shit pay, etc. Then when your doc covers everything that the potential candidate needs to know, just end your document in a call to action to a Google form. Again, the more questions you have in the doc or in the form, the fewer applications you'll get. I like to have around 10 to 15 questions, and that seems to be the sweet spot. I might be wrong, but that works extremely well for us. So this is what it actually looks like. I'll go to the form. So basically, if someone is interested, they'll just click here to apply for the role, and they get forwarded to this extremely simple Google form here. Like you can see, there's not that like a crazy amount of questions. One of the best things I've started to use in my application forms is a field for 2 to 3 minute introduction video. Basically, just telling the candidate to record a quick video, with a Loom about themselves and why they want the job. Introduction video, go to loom.com, create an introduction video about you and your work experiences and why we should hire you. Make it 3 to 5 minutes, paste the link here. And you can tell a lot from this video. Basically, is it a copy-paste video from a previous application? So especially if you're hiring for sales positions, for example, they might give you just a pre-recorded video that they have sent to 10 people. If I get that shows me that they're not actually really that motivated, so I immediately disqualify. Is the person clearly not professional enough to hire? What kind of vibe are you getting from them? Is it poorly done and rushed? How good is their English? If it's clearly rushed and it's not like a well done video, or if they have put in zero effort to it, disqualified. And also like if for some positions we require a fluent English, someone can tell in an application that they have fluent English, but then it can be completely different in the video. So I also like to check the video to see what their level of English is. And this has been a great addition to my applications, since someone can sound like an absolute killer on their applications, but they can be a fucking dork on their intro video. You can fake your application, you can fake your answers, but you can't fake good vibes. And that's why it works extremely well. Now we have our traffic, we have our sales page, and we have our application. Now basically comes the conversion. Now that you're getting applications, just start going through them. And for everyone who seems to be a fit for the role, send them an email to schedule an interview with you. Extremely simple. For everyone who isn't a fit, send them a quick email telling them that they weren't a fit, unfortunately, so they don't just stay up waiting with false hopes, waiting for your reply. When you schedule an interview with someone, you can just send them an extremely simple email. Hi John, went through your application and it looked like you could be a fit for X role. I'd like to schedule a time for a quick 30-minute interview to get to know you a bit better. Here's my calendar link. Please schedule a call in the next 24 hours. Cheers, Levi Orla, Agent Velocity IO. Again, just schedule a quick interview with them to learn more about them. Fourth step that you need to go through is basically interviewing and hiring. Now we need to just pick someone from the candidates that have applied. What I've noticed that there isn't really any perfect structure for doing interviews, but I just mainly focus on two factors. The factor number one is if it's a role that you don't really need any in-depth skills for, focus more on the personality, the goals, just the vibe, their character, etc. Since you'll be training them fully for the role, you mainly just need someone who is motivated, has discipline, wants to grow and learn, and isn't a fucking dork. So basically just having a laid back conversation with them about their future. Like you can give them like tests, like what would you do if situation X happened, if a customer emails you at 8 p.m. asking for a quick 15-minute call when you're just going out to the bar with your friends. What do you want to get from this job while you're applying? What is your 5-year game plan? So just like seeing where their head's at, where their goals are at, how goal-driven they are, how motivated they are, etc. So in my opinion, that's like the main thing. Just cracking jokes with them, seeing like if you actually have a good connection or not. In my opinion, in this kind of role, it's the most important thing. Also, you can give them a quick example test on something. For example, how would you reply to an email saying X, Y, and Z? So if you're hiring for an inbox management role, you can give them, okay, let's say someone asks for pricing over the email, what would you say? And the point of this isn't really to see if they're able to give you a good answer or not. They will probably fuck it up since you haven't trained them yet. But the point is to see how they react to it. Do they completely lock up? Like freeze completely, or do they give you a confident answer? How do they answer that question? And then when they give you an answer, you can just correct the mistakes that they made. If there were any mistakes, usually there are, and then tell them to do it again. And then you can basically see if they're coachable, if they fix the mistakes. I think that also is extremely valuable. You see how if they're coachable and if they like actually take feedback. And yeah, seeing how someone reacts to a hard situation like this in a job interview just tells a lot about them. And then the factor two is if you're hiring for a role that you can't train somebody on quickly because it involves an in-depth skill set with a longer learning curve, it's like a second type of situation. So examples of roles like this could be when you're hiring for copywriters, closers and SDRs, operation managers / COOs, customer success managers. So basically the skill that you are hiring for is actually like fairly in-depth and it takes long to learn. Like, of course, you could train someone for a job like this, but in my experience, for example, getting good at sales takes at least 6 to 12 months. Like for someone to actually become a good closer, they need to take hundreds of calls, do it for 6 to 12 months minimum. So I just rather hire someone who already knows what the fuck they are doing, pay a bit more and get like already someone who is a fucking killer at what they do. Same goes with copywriters, COOs, like actually like really high leverage positions. So when you're interviewing for a role like this, make sure that you test their knowledge and skill set a lot. give them the hardest questions you can give. Really don't go easy on them, since otherwise you can miss something extremely crucial in the process. So ask them for example of results, references, examples of work, etc. Of course here as well, the character and their vibes are important as well. So when you have found the A1 killer you want to hire, give them realistic expectations and a time frame for onboarding and all necessary next steps. You can legit lose a fucking amazing team member by fucking up the onboarding process. If they have no idea what they should be doing when they're starting, etc., they'll just work for your competition. You don't really want that. Like if they get extremely confused, they're like, oh, they didn't tell me what should happening. They're like uncertain, like when does it start, etc., etc., etc. They'll just leave before they even get the chance to start. Activity number 5, this is the last step, and this is onboarding and training. So this is extremely important step to nail down. I see so many people hiring someone, giving them a simple SOP, and then expecting them to execute the task perfectly. And it doesn't work like that. Even if they are experienced in the task you hired them for, there are still nuances that you want to be executed a certain way. So what should you have in check before bringing someone on? First thing, an efficient and a simple onboarding process. Second thing, training materials and resources. And then third thing, shadowing and checkups already planned out. So the new employee should know exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and how it's going to happen before they even start out. It doesn't need to be anything crazy or overly complicated. It just needs to be efficient and simple. So for example, here could be an example of a 4-day onboarding sequence. Day 1, onboarding call at 9 o'clock, access to training resources and materials, payment schedule and process, responsibilities and KPIs, onboarding time frame, access to different tools, company values, team intro, role intro, what are expected of them. And then at the end of the day, you just give them like, go through these materials, create these accounts, give information X, Y, and Z before the next day starts. And then again on the next day, overview of the daily tasks, go through the training materials, example of the daily workday, examples of how the task should be completed, overviewing of the SOPs, training run on task, checking all tools and accounts, making sure that they work. Then like again reminding them of the expectations, timeframes, KPIs and responsibilities, etc., etc., etc. So you need to have already planned out what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. You don't really wanna be second guessing yourself while onboarding them. The worst thing that you can do is like sit on an onboarding call and be like, like, is there something else that we need to go through? That just gives a bad first impression to your new team member. Like, they're like, shit, these guys are not actually that professional. I don't want to work with these guys. So they get like almost like buyer's remorse, but like employee's remorse. So give them access to everything, explain to them who will they be working with and what kind of a company it is, and give them all the training materials so they can start going through it immediately. And after they are set up, go through the tasks they will completing step by step using the SOPs you have provided to make sure that they understand everything on it. And after they clearly understand it, let them do the task themselves as you are shadowing them. One of the best forms of training is just letting them do it, like on a Zoom call, with the screen share on, and you just sit there and watch as they do it. And then you can fix mistakes and show them how to do it correctly. And depending on the role, the shadowing should be ongoing for the first 7 to 14 days. If you're hiring for a closer, for example, like you can do role play calls for them with every single day, customer success manager, you can do onboarding calls with them every single day. You're just barely getting reps in and being there every single day to make sure that you can correct the mistakes. After they clearly understand how to do everything and you have corrected all the mistakes and you have also made sure that they know what is expected of them, you can just schedule a bi-weekly or a monthly shadowing session. Also, you can just schedule weekly or daily calls with them. It's your team. It's your responsibility to make sure that you are on track daily. Something that I see is they hire someone and then they never talk to them again. Like they talk to them once a month. But that's fucking crazy. Like it's your team. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility to make sure that they are on track daily and have no obstacles that they are running into. So for example, with my inbox setter, we do a 30-minute call every single day, Monday to Friday. Every single evening I talk with them for 30 minutes because there are a lot of moving parts and volume that we need to understand. So I want to make sure I'm not missing anything and that we can change the process on the fly every single day. And also just making sure that they're doing well. Then, for example, with our closers and consultants and customer success, we just do a weekly call. They are extremely good at what they do, and the process isn't evolving as much on daily basis. And with my partner and chief operating officer, we do around 1 to 3 calls a week. If you don't know what your team is doing every single day, every single minute, every single second, you are fucked. Talk with them. Don't miss out on it. Those are the 5 steps. First step, do a time audit. See what you need to hire for. Second thing, create the process and SOPs for that said task. Third thing, build a hiring funnel, drive traffic from platforms to your hiring document, to your hiring application, so you actually get candidates that apply for your job. Fourth thing, interview them and hire one. And fifth thing, onboard and train them well so they don't fuck up. If you hire correctly, you'll be able to take yourself out from the daily time-consuming tasks and actually focus on the higher leverage activities like writing sales letters, getting feedback from your customers and improving your service delivery, and just building better operations inside your business. Second thing, you'll be able to deliver better results to your clients since you have more time to allocate to troubleshooting client problems, which means your clients get better results and you get better case studies and make more money for your clients and also for yourself. You won't burn yourself out from all the lead scraping and domain setup, which means that you'll be able to stay in business for a longer time and to actually become a proper, highly paid expert. And the last thing, the most important thing, you're able to run the business like a real CEO and fill your Prada wallet with dead presidents while you're sipping mojitos in Aruba. Honorable mention, if you're looking to build and scale a lead generation agency without having to waste time figuring out all the small nuances yourself, book a call at agentvelocity.io. We have literally built a protocol to do this as efficiently as possible, and as a result we have helped guys like Daniel Sonnegaard. He went from working as a 9-to-5 sales rep to making over $20,000 a month with his lead generation agency in 4 months. Michael Choi, an absolute fucking killer, went from 0 to 20k a month in 4 months with his lead generation agency. Christian and Hui, they went from 0 to 25k a month in 91 days with their lead generation agency. Oliver, he was running an SMMA agency for 2 years, basically making $0 a month, and then he started working with us, got to 20k a month with his lead generation agency in 4 months. Wyatt Beamer, he was running a lead generation agency already, making around $500 a month, and we got him to $10,000 a month in 3 months. We just have this case that is like fucking so much more. So if you want to build a lead gen agency and you want to use our protocol that has been proven to work fucking time after time, book a call to see if you are a fit. Just a disclaimer, we disqualify 70% of the people who book with us because, to be honest, not everyone is made for this game. Some people think that they want it, but they don't actually want it, so we disqualify them. But if you are a fit, if you're actually made for this game and you start working with us, we are going to make sure that you win. I hope you have a great day. Thank you. Bye.